Your smartphone dies, the screen fading into silence. The power grid collapses. The city goes dark. 3 days later, you're dead. Not injured, not hungry yet. Dead because you never learned what a child once knew. Here's the contract. This isn't about rejecting modern gear. Modern survival equipment is incredible. Ferro rods, water filters, emergency blankets. These tools save lives. But here's the question nobody asks. What happens when you don't have them? When your pack is gone? Disaster hits. You're in office clothes with nothing but your wits. This is about backup protocols, ancient methods with zero equipment. Knowledge kept civilizations alive when winter hit -40 degrees. By the end, you'll know techniques proven for 10,000 years. Not theory, proven systems tested across centuries of survival. Because when everything fails, knowledge is the only tool. Knowledge can't be lost, broken, or left behind. Not in your truck, not in your pack, not anywhere. Fire first, because without it you're just counting down. Counting down to hypothermia. Modern lighters are brilliant tools. Ferro rods never fail you. Waterproof matches are a godsend. Pack them, use them, trust them. But imagine this moment. You're 3 days deep. Everything ran out, your lighter died. Your ferro rod is gone. At the bottom of a ravine. Temperature's dropping fast. You have maybe 4 hours left. Before your body stops. Before heat fails to keep you conscious. What now? You gonna sit there and accept it? Or are you going to do what humans always did? 6,000 years before BIC invented the disposable lighter, ancient peoples across every continent solved this exact problem. They created fire with friction, not because they were tough, because they understood physics and refused to die. The military still teaches this as a backup protocol today, because when nothing else works, this does every single time. The bow drill method, 4 components all around you. A fireboard, soft dry wood carved and waiting. A spindle, 8 inches of carved wood balanced perfectly. A bow, any flexible branch with cordage tied tight. A handhold, hardwood or stone pressed firmly in place. That's it, your entire fire-making kit when everything else is gone. You saw that bow back and forth. The spindle rotates. Friction generates heat. The contact point gets so hot. It creates glowing charcoal powder. That powder becomes an ember. Transfer it to dry grass. Blow gently, watch flames appear. Flames appear from nothing, but wood and determination. Ancient peoples did this in under a minute. Fast, efficient, relentless. You might take 20 minutes, your first try struggling with friction. But 20 minutes versus freezing to death? Pretty good trade. This is your backup system. Your insurance policy against the void. Against the universe taking away. Your convenient tools, your lifeline. And here's what makes ancient methods beautiful. Simple, raw, undeniable. They don't depend on supply chains, batteries, replacement parts, convenience. They depend on understanding principles and practicing survival skills. Your lighter might fail. Physics can't fail. Friction always produces heat. Always. Friction always produces heat, always. You survived the cold. Fires burning, shelters built, confidence rising. Then day 3 hits. Your mouth feels like sandpaper. Your head pounds. Your thoughts start getting fuzzy. Dehydration, 3 to 5 days without water and you're done. Not a dramatic freeze, just a slow shutdown of every system. Until nothing works anymore. Silence swallowing the last flicker of strength. Modern filtration systems are engineering marvels. Life Straw Sawyer filters, purification tablets. These remove pathogens efficiently and reliably. But picture this scenario. Vehicle accident in remote wilderness. Your pack is inaccessible. Your filter shattered in the crash. Stream water looks crystal clear. Drink it straight. Survive 3 days before pathogens destroy you. Don't drink it. Dead in 5 days anyway. What's the plan? Ancient humans didn't have polymer membranes or chemical tablets. Only heat and observation. They survived in conditions that would kill modern people in 72 hours. Boiling kills everything. Viruses, bacteria, parasites die at high temperatures. This is non-negotiable physics. Pathogens can't survive extended heat exposure. But wait, no metal container, no pot, no kettle. How exactly do you boil water with nothing at all? Rock boiling. This technique has been used on every continent for thousands of years. It sounds primitive, until you realize it's thermodynamics applied brutally. Efficiency, survival reduced to physics heat, and brutal necessity. But here's the part that separates survivors from statistics. Stone selection. You need smooth stones found near rivers, but never stones from underwater, never stones with cracks or moisture. Because trapped water turns to steam, expanding with explosive force. The rock becomes a grenade. Ancient people learned through fatal experience. You're learning it now, without losing an eye or worse. Find dry stones that have been out of water. River cobbles on the bank. Heat them in your fire. 30 to 45 minutes glowing red. Transfer those stones into your water container. Improvised wooden tongs gripping tight. Could be animal hide carved wood or a clay-lined depression. Doesn't matter. Your modern filter is superior in every way. Lighter, faster, more convenient. But when it's not available, this ancient method works reliably. That's why Special Forces operatives still learn it. Backup systems save lives. When primary systems fail, ancient methods remain brutal but effective. Shelter comes next. The invisible killer nobody talks about until too late. Because you can have fire and water and still die of exposure. 3 hours without shelter, if you don't understand this next part. Modern gear, like bivvies and insulated sleeping bags, are incredible. They pack small, provide reliable protection, and they work. But sudden emergency without gear, your racing thermodynamics body losing fast. Your body maintains 98.6 degrees, but ambient cold steals it fast. You lose heat through multiple pathways, simultaneously, relentlessly, invisibly. Hypothermia hits when core temperature drops below 95. At 90, you lose consciousness. At 85, you're dead. This process takes 3 to 4 hours in freezing conditions. Less if you're wet, that's your timeline, that's reality. So what did ancient peoples do? They built emergency shelters, using only natural materials and understanding of thermal principles. In snow conditions, the Quincy pile snow into a dome, about 10 feet across. Wait an hour for it to harden. Then carefully hollow out the interior, leaving walls 16 inches thick. Why does this work? Snow is 90% trapped air. Air doesn't conduct heat well. Those walls slow heat loss. Temperature inside stays just below freezing, even when outside hits -40. Your body heat alone raises interior. To survivable levels, no fire. Just snow time and technique, building an igloo without ice blocks. And it might just save your life. Tonight against the cold. Forested environments bring a different solution. Debris huts for survival. Sounds like something a kid would build until you see the engineering. Find or create a ridgepole. Lean branches against it carefully. Then pack that frame with leaves, moss, grass, pine needles. Keep layering. 3 feet thick minimum, more is better. Each layer traps air. Air doesn't move heat efficiently, you stay warmer. Modern testing shows shelters run 15 to 20 degrees warmer inside, with zero external heat, just insulation and body heat. Your sleeping bag is better, obviously lighter, warmer, more reliable. But when you don't have it, ancient shelter techniques keep you alive. That's the point. Backup knowledge, last resort protocols. The difference between seeing sunrise and becoming a cautionary tale. Now here's something survival courses barely mention, but ancient peoples understood completely. Clothing layers. You think you understand because you wear a jacket in winter. Ancient peoples in extreme cold wore 7 to 8 layers of clothing. Each layer had a specific job. This wasn't fashion or tradition. This was calculated thermal engineering, using whatever they could scavenge. First layer, wicked moisture. Wet skin loses heat 25 times faster. 25 times, sweat becomes your executioner in cold environments. That first layer against your skin keeps you dry, keeps you alive. Then multiple insulating layers. Wool preferred because it insulates even when wet. Each layer created air pockets. Those pockets trapped body heat inside. This is exactly why modern down jackets work. Trapped air insulates, not material. Head coverage was non-negotiable. Significant body heat escapes through your head. They wore thick caps even indoors during the brutal winter months. Footwear started with multiple wool socks, then leather boots waterproofed with animal fats. packed with dried grass for insulation. Modern gear is more convenient. But the principles haven't changed in 10,000 years of survival. So far, fire, water, shelter, clothing, the immediate needs. Ancient peoples mastered these, because failure meant immediate death, not eventual. You freeze without shelter in 3 hours, dehydrate without water in 3 days. You can't create fire, you lose critical survival capability. The environment doesn't negotiate, it only responds to correct action. Navigation next, because knowing where you are means nothing if direction is lost. Walking in circles until collapse. Exhaustion is how most lost people die. Modern GPS is phenomenal. Compasses are reliable, use them, trust them. But batteries die at the worst moment. Electronics break when needed most. Satellites fail. What's your backup when technology abandons you in nowhere? Ancient peoples navigated hundreds of miles through unmapped wilderness using observation and recognition. Apache warriors raided villages unseen and returned home across hostile terrain. Polynesian sailors crossed thousands of miles, navigating open ocean without maps. How? They read the environment, like you read street signs. The sun provides constant directional information, if you know how to read it. Rises east, sets west. Solar noon marks south or north. In northern hemisphere, it's due south. In southern hemisphere, it's due north. But here's a more precise method. Works anytime during daylight hours. Shadow stick technique. Plant a straight stick vertically into flat ground. Mark where shadow tip falls. Wait 15 minutes, mark new shadow tip. Draw a line between the marks. That line runs east to west. First mark is west. Second mark is east, works anywhere on Earth. No equipment except a stick, flat ground, and 15 minutes. Ancient peoples used this instantly to establish cardinal directions for survival. From there, they could dead reckon their way anywhere across wilderness. You can learn this yourself, in your backyard this afternoon. Night brings different navigation tools, stars guiding survival through darkness. In northern hemisphere, find Polaris, the North Star marking true north. Sounds simple until darkness surrounds. Constellations blur, memory falters. Ancient peoples made it foolproof. Locate Big Dipper pointer stars aligned. Draw a line through them. Extend 5 times the distance. You hit Polaris. That star barely moves while everything else rotates. Polaris marks true north with precision. Ancient peoples used it for millennia. Vikings sailed across the Atlantic, guided by Polaris through endless night. You can use it tonight to walk out of the woods alive. Your GPS is more accurate, but when it's gone, ancient techniques remain. These methods work with 100% reliability. Sun and stars unchanged. The sun hasn't changed. The stars haven't moved. They remain constant. Methods that guided ancient peoples will guide you across wilderness tonight. When your phone dies, these techniques will carry you 10 miles home. If you want to keep your family safe, when the system fails, subscribe. We analyze what others ignore. Knowledge hidden in shadows becomes survival. Food. Week 3 of your survival situation. Fireworks water's clean. Shelter keeps you warm, but your stomach stopped growling 2 days ago. That's your body shutting down, non-essential functions fading into silence. 3 weeks without food, your body starts eating itself, muscle mass disappears. Cognitive function deteriorates. Decision-making collapses into blurred confusion. You can't think clearly enough, even when rescue is a mile away. Modern freeze-dried meals are convenient. Energy bars provide concentrated nutrition. Pack them, rely on them. They work until supplies run out, or weren't available to begin with. Staring at plants in confusion. No idea which ones won't kill you. Alternatives become survival itself. Ancient peoples accumulated foraging knowledge, passed down carefully over generations. By age 10, a child could identify dozens of edible plants. Modern people know maybe 3. This knowledge gap kills without mercy. The Army developed the Universal Edibility Test, systematic survival for soldiers. It takes over 24 hours per plant, a last resort emergency method. Critical warning: never use this test on mushrooms. Danger hides in silence. Many mushroom toxins are lethal, tiny amounts enough to end survival. Some don't show symptoms until irreversible organ damage has already occurred. Can't identify it? Don't eat it. Period survival demands restraint. The test works like this. Separate plant into parts carefully. Test each individually. Plants can have both edible and toxic parts. Skin contact test first. Any reactions stop immediately. Touch to lip reactions stop. Tongue mouth small swallow. Wait 8 hours, no symptoms. Eat a quarter cup carefully. Wait another 8 hours. Still good, probably safe in moderation. It's slow, it's methodical. Ancient peoples had generational knowledge. You don't. This test is backup when survival depends on food. Ancient humans excelled at trapping, deadfall traps, snares, survival intelligence. They understood animal behavior, game trails, feeding patterns, survival knowledge. They could read tracks, knowing what passed, when, and direction. This intelligence modern people lost. Brains filter out irrelevant information. Until suddenly it's very relevant. Survival depends on awareness. Fishing provided critical protein. Nets from plant fibers, traps from branches. Bone hooks weren't sophisticated, but they were effective survival tools. Fish provide protein and fats. A good spot sustained families for months. Modern fishing gear is better, but ancient methods still work. Improvised materials replace modern gear when survival leaves no alternatives. Techniques most survival guides ignore. Too simple to sound effective. Hot stones for heating. Fire and rocks combined for portable warmth. Ancient peoples heated stones, wrapped in cloth or hide for survival. 3-pound stone stays warm, 6 to 8 hours of lasting heat. 8 hours, longer than most modern hand warmers last. They placed these in sleeping areas before bed to trap warmth. Climbed into pre-warmed spaces instead of ice-cold bedding stealing heat. They also made foot warmers, wooden boxes with ventilation holes. Hot stones inside kept extremities warm, preventing frostbite, maintaining circulation. Modern people need electric heaters. Ancient people needed rocks and fire. Extreme cold brought another strategy. Modern people find it uncomfortable at first. Communal sleeping, not for comfort or social reasons, but survival. For pure survival through thermodynamics, your body generates 100 watts. Doesn't sound like much until you do the math carefully. 8 people together produce 800 watts, a space heater all night. That's the difference between freezing to death and surviving the night. Strategic arrangement mattered. Children between adults absorbing heat from both sides. Elderly in center positions, where temperature was highest and most stable. Strong adults on edges, acting as thermal barriers against cold air. Layers of blankets and furs. Curtains trapping heat, creating microclimate. Within 30 minutes, combined body heat makes space genuinely warm inside. This isn't philosophy, it's measurable thermodynamics, 800 watts sustained. Enclosed space raises temperature significantly, keeping everyone alive through the night. Diet in extreme cold was radically different, nothing modern nutritionists recommend. Ancient peoples consumed massive amounts of fat. Sounds unhealthy until physics explains. Fat generates twice the calories per gram compared to protein or carbs. In cold weather, your body is a furnace, burning fuel constantly. Fat is premium fuel, burns hot and long sustaining survival. Butter consumed directly by the spoonful. Rendered animal fat added to every meal. Fatty meat cuts discarded today were considered choicest, most valuable portions. This wasn't unhealthy in that context. It was calculated survival strategy. Working adult in extreme cold consumed 4,000 to 5,000 calories daily. Hot fatty stews raised core temperature. Warmth spreading through torso and limbs. Modern balanced diet keeps you healthy. Ancient high-fat diet kept people alive. Different problems demand radically different solutions. Survival at -40 degrees. Heat therapy through sweat lodges, heat stones until they glow. Pour water on them. Steam explodes, interior hits 120 degrees. Intense heat opened pores. Circulation increased, immune function boosted. People using heat therapy regularly had lower illness rates. Some practiced contrast therapy. Intense heat followed by cold exposure. Rolling in snow after sweat lodge. Reduced inflammation, improved cold tolerance. Modern athletes use this now. Ancient peoples discovered it long ago. Constant movement. Ancient peoples couldn't sit idle in cold. Morning exercises after waking got blood-flowing heat rising quickly. Physical labor all day generated metabolic heat for survival. Combat training continued through winter. Preparation doubled as heating strategy. Dancing served dual purposes, entertainment and warmth for survival. Children played active games, running wrestling preventing dangerous cooling. Every action was a small heat generator. Motion equals warmth. Living with livestock in harsh climates, animals housed in same structure. Single cow generates heat, equal to large space heater continuously. 6 cows, 10 sheep, several goats. Combined output exceeded heating systems. Animal body heat spread throughout shelter. Hot air rises and radiates. Animals were biological furnaces, requiring only food and care. Feeding and milking inside shelter. No need to face lethal cold. Dogs lived with humans, sleeping near or with people for warmth. Animals were survival partners, living heat sources making winter survivable. Tools. Everything learned so far becomes easier with functional cutting implements. Modern multi-tools are brilliant engineering. Quality knives hold edges through hard use. Pack them, use them, maintain them. Superior in every measurable way. But imagine your knife breaks, blade snaps during hard use, or you lose it crossing a river, or it was never packed. What now? Survival without blade improvisation becomes the only option. Ancient humans made stone tools, striking rocks together at precise angles. Sharp flake breaks free, cuts hide slices, meat carves, wood processes, materials. Obsidian blade edges sharper than surgical steel. Significantly sharper, measurable fact. Stone tool technology sustained civilization 3 million years before agriculture existed. Agriculture 12,000 years old. Metalworking 7,000 stone tools far older. Expensive knife better in convenience, but stone tools provide functional cutting edges. Cordage rope. You need it constantly for survival binding shelters. Making snares, creating bows. Ancient peoples used plant fibers. Extract fibers, dry them, twist together. Friction holds fibers tight. Ancient rope makers produced cordage. 500-pound breaking strength. Medieval ships sailed with rope, surviving ocean storms through strength. Modern synthetic rope is better, but ancient methods still produce cordage. Here's what this represents. Ancient humans were sophisticated problem solvers. Created fire through friction, purified water with heated stones, built insulated shelters from natural materials, navigated by celestial bodies, identified edible plants, made tools from stones, wove rope from fibers, survived conditions that kill modern people. These aren't historical curiosities. These are proven backup protocols, working when primary systems fail. Army Survival Manual lists these techniques. Friction fire, rock boiling, debris shelters. Special forces train in celestial navigation. Reliable backups when systems fail. Not because modern equipment fails regularly, but alternatives are needed when it does. And systems eventually fail. Always without exception, survival depends on backups. Your modern gear is excellent. Your home is comfortable, infrastructure reliable. But all of these depend on systems functioning correctly without failure. When those systems fail, you need backup knowledge, practical and applicable. Knowledge kept people alive for 100,000 years of survival. You have access to more information than any human in history. But could you create fire without a lighter, purify water without filter? Navigate without GPS, build shelter with bare hands, identify food without store? If the answer is no, you're dependent on systems you can't repair. Ancient peoples had applicable knowledge, practical skills keeping you alive. Practice friction, fire, build debris shelter. Learn 10 edible plants nearby. Practice shadow stick navigation, survival skills, shifting probability in your favor. Nothing guarantees survival, but these skills give options when others have none. They transform panic into procedure. Survival becomes deliberate, not desperate. In crisis situations, procedure saves lives. Panic creates casualties instantly. The difference is knowledge training and mental preparation for survival. Ancient survival methods give preparation, backup systems you hope never to need. But you should absolutely understand, procedure transforms chaos into survival. Bottom line, learn friction fire today, practice water purification immediately. Build an emergency shelter study, celestial navigation, identify local edible plants. These 5 capabilities form foundation, human survival across all environments. Master them and you've given yourself genuine options. Ignore them and gamble. Maybe that gamble pays off. Maybe it doesn't. Ancient methods remain proven. Waiting for anyone willing to learn. Survival knowledge proven over thousands of years. Important disclaimer, this information is for educational purposes only. For specific guidance on emergency preparedness, consult local authorities and agencies. They have current protocols and resources specific to your area of survival. Always inform someone of your location before practicing wilderness skills. Survival situations are inherently dangerous. Professional training is strongly recommended. Before attempting these techniques in emergencies, preparation separates survival from tragedy. Stay safe out there. Protect yourself and your family always. Remember skills sustaining ancestors still function today with same reliability. Modern tools are better when you have them. Ancient methods work when you don't. Learn them before circumstances force you. Survival knowledge proven over centuries.